The pinky plateau on this beauty, all of the key touches, all of the rods, everything, the bridge has been handmade, every single part of it. And I made it to be in a style that I like, meaning that you can see the B, the low B, it actually has a kind of angle to it. So when you play, you know, now I hit the B, because you can feel it. So there's a little raise in the touch right here. It's a bend, you can see it very clearly, and it makes the finger remember, now I'm on B. The B flat, as you can see, it's hinged to the C sharp, like it's actually done in a style that the Selma Series 3 saxophones have. So you have a male hinge going into the C sharp touch, and the B flat has a hinge here in the joint, so it can move from side to side, and you can actually see it when I do like this. You can actually see a very small movement, and I'm gonna do this, it moves back. This gives a much better feel of the action and the closing of the key touches. It also gives a more responsive feel on the key touches when you push down. This is actually the old thumb hook, and it's not that it's a crappy thumb hook, it's okay, but it's much more comfortable with a modern adjustable thumb hook. My custom built saxophones come with a 3-ring neck strap. This is also handmade. I designed it in a style that is quite similar to the original SML, so you have this kind of bridge feeling, but with 3 different levels. It's a real great thing if you have to switch between an alto and a tenor saxophone. You can do that without having to adjust your strap. When you do a rebuild that is as complete as the one I did here, you have to move the G sharp cup, because it's hinged together with the lower stack from the factory, and I have to switch it so it's actually connected to the upper stack. So it's hinged as a continuance of the G, which is here. The G sharp is hinged within this line of rod. It's not the same rod, it has its own rod and its own post going in here, but it has a pivot that goes through the post and into the G up here. One thing I did is every single thing is made by hand. I had to smallen the G sharp cup, so I had to make that completely from scratch, because I didn't have a cup that fit, and the old one was simply too big, because I had to fit a post in here to facilitate the G sharp mechanism. So a smaller cup, a new arm, a new mechanics completely. Again, a Delrin roller is used, and I designed, it's not really my idea, but I used it, a never stick G mechanism with just a very thin spring. It's actually a copper spring on the bottom here to help lift the G sharp, so you will never get a sticky G sharp. This is just a nice little detail to enhance the Saxworks logo. I designed an S kind of bell to body brace. It's detachable, of course. You have the screws, you can take it off, and it comes as a necessity with the upgrade of a ring, detachable body to bow ring, which you have your screws here, and you can just take it off. So it's much easier to do service on a horn like this. Another great upgrade is the B flat to G sharp closer or helper bridge, which has 2 adjustment screws, one for the B flat and one for the G sharp, and it is attached normally to the cup. The F sharp cup, but as you all know, this is not a very good solution because you tend to get a leak somewhere in the lower stack. So I designed an arm, and I hope you can see it because it's not just an arm, it's actually a double bridge arm, so it's twice as strong and rigid as a normal arm. The lower left hand, or the lower key stack, I replaced the E flat and the C, low C key touches, and I did that by just making the posts a lot higher than normal, and I completely repositioned the arms and the key touches themselves. I extended the C again with a little curve to it, so your hand kind of feels when it's on the C. Many modern saxophones has this feature, but I designed it in a kind of my own style. And another thing that I think adds a lot of comfort to the playing of the saxophone is that the E flat is, as you can see, very close. I don't have to move my pinky out to touch the E flat. I can just take an E flat just by closing my hand like this, and I just have to reach out for the C. But as you can see, it's not like this, it's quite close still with the C. I think you can get a sense that the whole plateau, the E flat and the C, has an angle to it. So it's kind of this way up, so you have your fingers going against a curve that goes up. It's not just flat, it's not angled in like this, so you have to kind of get on top of the key. Your fingers just completely naturally relaxes and is placed on the keys, and you don't really have to put a lot of effort into playing E flat. It's just there, and the C again, it's just there, and not a lot of movement in your hand, and no Flappy Birds here. It's tight, folks, it's tight.